Team TC, Red Room Affiliates, what's good, what's good? I hope you guys have had a great weekend so far, man. Less than 24 hours before we have to do it all over again. I know. Truest dude, don't remind us, right? Now, listen, guys. Week 1 of the Keefe D. Davis murder trial is officially in the books. And when I say there was drama right out the gate, man, listen. Alright? Hostile gang witnesses, intense cross-examinations, and a wild Friday outburst from Keefe D himself. Now, the prosecution spent the last 5 days executing an aggressive game plan to prove that Keefe D was the general who ordered the 1996 drive-by shooting. And they completely blew the doors off the courtroom, in my opinion, by playing a leaked 2008 police confession tape. Now, the jury sat in complete silence as they listened to Keefe D's own voice, as he casually described how he supplied the .40 Glock used to take Pac's life. The man literally said, quote, "He leaned on the window, he rolled down the window, pop," end quote. Now, his defense attorney, Michael Sanft, is trying to convince the jury that no, right? No. Listen, my client is a liar. You know, he made the whole thing up. You know, the memoir and all of it, you know, it was just a way to make money. Now, think about that irony, right, Team TC? Because like I told you guys last week, this is a wild situation once again. The state is trying to prove that Keefe D is a truth teller, while Keefe D's own defense is begging the jury to believe that, you know, their client is a fraud, he's a liar, who, you know, just can't keep his mouth shut. Now, Team TC, let's really get into this, because day 3 and 4 brought out something that completely disrupted the prosecution's flow, in my opinion, and that is the street code of silence. The state started calling former street figures and security associates, including James McDonald, also better known to the world as Mob James. He was, according to him, Suge Knight's right-hand muscle back in the day. But when he stepped to the microphone under a court subpoena, he pretty much shocked the courtroom by directly telling the prosecution, you better treat me as a hostile witness. Explicitly saying that he wasn't there to help send another black man to prison. He even blasted Keefe D's attorney, after calling him out, saying, "You're asking me questions that are going to hurt this man," right? And now, to me, that was a bad look for Keefe D. He went even further by saying at one point, quote, "I'm not going to send him to prison, you are," end quote. And he said that to Keefe D's attorney. Again, you know, Team TC, this is a bad look. And if we're being honest, this was a terrible look for the defense. And also, the retired LAPD officer, who also took the stand, he made a comment towards the end of his testimony, I believe, where he stated he didn't understand why Keefe D would put the gun in the hands of his own nephew, right, in life or death, thus putting the murder of Tupac Shakur at the feet of his own nephew. He stated that he understood that where they come from, Orlando would be looked at as a hero, right? But to the world, he would be seen as, you know, the ultimate villain. And that he didn't understand that if he loved his nephew so much, if Keefe D loved his nephew so much, then why would he put that on his nephew again in life or death? And he stated that it was because of these statements made by Keefe D that he thought he was being truthful, right? Because why would you lie about something like that? You see what I'm saying? Why would you lie about something like that? What's the motivation behind it? You know, there was no money was involved, right? See what I'm saying, Team TC? They didn't offer any type of financial benefits to Keefe D for sitting down with them and talking with them at all. So why tell a story like that just for clout's sake? You see what I'm saying? But even with all of that being said, that was still nothing compared to what happened to close out week 1 of the trial. The real climax of week 1 didn't come from evidence files. It happened right in front of the judge on Friday night. Because before leaving the courtroom for the weekend, Keefe D, just like 2 years ago, remember guys? Remember when Keefe D had that outburst against the judge with his second lawyer at the time? Well, it happened again. Keefe D once again breaks protocol. He stands up, has another unhinged outburst directed at the judge, Carly Kearney, and the prosecution. He was absolutely furious, openly scolding the prosecution, accusing them of intentionally leaking his personal home address to the public. He claimed his house had already been vandalized, burglarized, and because of the trials, and this was because of the trial's publicity. And he shouted that his family's safety was actually actively compromised. And it got to a point where the prosecution literally stood up for the record and said, he was like, look, the defendant just seems upset that he's being prosecuted for murder during the 5th day of the state's case. See what I'm saying? When I heard that, I was like, wow, man, talk about a cold-blooded response, Team TC, and hey, let us not forget the massive elephant in the room here, okay? The reemerged, the persistent Sean Diddy Combs conspiracy theory, right? Diddy's name, I believe, has been mentioned more than 20 times throughout week 1 of the trial. And the jury literally heard testimonies reviving the old theory that Bad Boy Records allegedly solicited a hit on Suge Knight and Death Row. Now, for me, Team TC, this entire trial has turned into a circus. And this is just week 1. This is just week 1. This case is scheduled to go on for, I believe, 5 to 6 weeks. And this is just week 1. Keefe D is completely unraveling, in my opinion, because he knows his own 2008 immunity tape is being used as the state's main weapon. But I want to know where you guys stand on this week 1 drama. I want you guys to hop down in the comments below and let me know your position on all of this. You feel me? That's it for me. Good people, Team TC, Red Room affiliates. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And listen, before we get out of here, I want to give a special shout out to my sister Keena for doing such a fantastic job on my thumbnails, man. She is absolutely awesome at what she does. And she definitely helped me find the signature look for my videos. And I greatly appreciate that. So, shout outs to her. And hey, if you need help with thumbnails, hey man, give me a holler. And I'll definitely put you guys in contact with her, you feel me? And like I said in my last video, if you're new to my channel, man, welcome to the family. Come on in, make yourselves at home, make yourselves comfortable, kick back, and hey, it's your guy, reminding you all to be you, be true, and until the next episode, y'all be good, man. Be good, be easy, and we out, all right? Peace, y'all.